All right, let's start the stream, guys. Got Bitcoin doing well. Seems to be we are on the cusp of getting ETF news. Forget who reported it. It's been a busy day for me, but multiple reports saying that it's expected this week. Um, I think that's the case. I think we are going to see an approval. We did have that kind of crazy dump about a week ago when Matrix something or other came online saying that it would be denied, but that ended up being kind of fake news because they posted two separate articles, one saying it would be approved, one saying it would be denied. Um, that way they could go back and say they called it, basically. Um, sort of the paid group meme in a much larger scale because it got picked up by a lot of crypto news outlets. But anyways, here we are. It looks like we probably will see an approval, so this will probably be the last stream in the pre-ETF era. Bitcoin pumping nicely today. A little bit of fuckery over the weekend, sort of sideways down. Bitcoin definitely has taken some dominance back. This little move from like 44.2 to 43.5, insignificant move really. Wiped out a lot of altcoins. ETH with a bigger version of the move. Could look at like AVAX, similar move. Um, but I mean, a lot of coins just reacted to that move in a stronger way than Bitcoin did. Um, and yeah, this is the first time I've seen this, but you could see just looking at the market, ETH BTC was going down. So Bitcoin definitely is the leader here. Obviously, that makes sense with the ETF lingering over us right now. Um, but like everything, it's gonna cycle back to alts most likely. So this isn't the time to FOMO your alts into Bitcoin. I would say maybe it turns out it is, but I think it's a little late for that. Um, I've been holding spot Bitcoin myself, as well as alts, and just kind of riding the storm. Because I mean, look at my watch list. There's plenty of green today. It's just Bitcoin seems to be leading the way in terms of majors. All right, so let's look at Bitcoin. We've got fresh highs, and that's the other thing to look at here is Bitcoin has broken its local highs. So virtually not all-time highs, but new highs as of the last was it March 22? So almost a year since we've been this high. Switched to Ethereum, strong bounce, but it is not broken to fresh highs. So again, that just shows the strength of Bitcoin here. Um, but let's try to get an idea. Obviously, we're in some resistance here. Um, this was the level we had marked out months and months ago as this sort of untapped supply here. Uh, don't be surprised to see us pull back from here. Okay, this is your supply zone. Um, Certainly, an ETF can push us above that. I don't mean to be overly bearish or anything, um, but we are in supply. I just play tight right now is sort of my plan. Definitely more spot. I wouldn't be touching leverage right now. I think, and this is just my guess, my sort of intuition feel of the market. I don't really have a reason or there's nothing on the chart telling me this is what's going to happen, but I think um, once we get approved, you are going to get one of those just ridiculous candles. Um, Darth Maul, I think I don't know what happens first, but we're probably going to go down 5%, up 10%, back down 5% to where we started, and then pick a direction from there. I tell you now that I'm picking up. I think the ETF is a bullish catalyst, but um, I think there's going to be some combination of sell the news uh, and just, I mean, this is what we've had every time there was a rate hike. Um, any big financial news, expect similar price action. The Darth Maul candle. Um, yeah, but I mean, overall, Bitcoin is looking good. Like I said, though, we're in supply. Um, if you have some spot holdings from much lower down, not a bad place to shave a little bit off. Um, so basically, my plan here is I'm going to be holding, in terms of Bitcoin, I'm holding Bitcoin. I'm also have powder available, so I have stable coins and other assets that I can use to buy the dip. Um, should we get a crazy candle once they announce the approval? Um, if we get a minus 10% candle, that's a nice candle to try to buy. I wouldn't be careful if you've never done that. I don't like to recommend buying a falling knife. But I think once it stabilizes, basically go back to here. I'll tell you exactly how I played this. You get this massive dump. Once it wicks, generally this is what it does. It wicks, it chops around in the same area, and then it retraces back to where it started. So if Bitcoin gives us that wick, or that candle, you basically just want to wait, let it wick, and then when it starts to chop sideways, this is where you jump in. Okay, unless you have just really good luck and you think, you know what, I think it's going to stop here. I'm going to place some bids. Good luck. Feel free to do that. If you're sitting at the screen watching it live, sometimes you can sort of catch the bottom on those things. But my idea would be to let it drop, let it settle, um, and then try to buy it once it stabilizes a little bit. All right, let's look at ETH. So, I mean, ETH looks good here. Again, we're in supply. Um, I had this marked up on Bitcoin, might be gone now. But basically, we've created this inefficiency when we had that dump. Okay, I mean, we went a little bit high. There's different ways we can mark this up. But basically, the idea was we dropped below here, had an inefficient move down. Again, this price action that I was just describing, wick, sideways. Sideways is where you start to get in. And then we retraced perfectly to where the inefficiency starts. Um, so we're there now. Chances are this maybe it keeps going, but I would say this probably needs to pull back a little bit, challenge that resistance a couple times before it's able to break through. But we shall see there. Um, I mean, you guys know I'm not really into day trading, so I'm just giving you my idea here. I am holding on to my bags right now. Um, but yeah, that's sort of what I would expect there. Um, and I will just say it is important. Um, the market could be at a top. This could be the top of the cycle. The ETF news could mark the top. I know there's a lot of people who are saying ETF marks the top, then we retrace, have a little more sideways action, move into the halving, and at the halving is when we get the next sort of cycle. A valid idea. I think absolutely that's a possibility. So when I say I'm holding my bags, I'm taking profits out too. So I just mean I'm not like fleeing to stable coins right now. I have sizable positions, but it is important to not round trip this if you've made a good amount of money. I would say you should be securing some of those profits. Put them aside. Then you can have powder for those days when it's just screaming buy and you have nothing. Um, that's when you want those stable coins. So please don't take my bullishness as reason to not take any profits. We should absolutely be taking profits whenever they're available. Beam looks pretty good right now. We talked yesterday in the group about where we could buy Beam. I said it's sitting on the 200. I think current price is a good buy. It dipped a little bit below it for a minute. We bounced back strong. Um, I think Beam has absolutely been one of the stronger coins earlier in the cycle. Now we're getting that consolidation. But this is not a downtrend. Yes, prices are lower than they were when it was a very clear uptrend, but this is more consolidation. We're going sideways. This isn't just dumping straight back down. Um, so we're forming a little bit of a range. Um, and basically, we just need to look for this to break up or down. Obviously, I'm looking for up, but break from this range is when we start to see real momentum. Um, so just keep an eye on that. Basically, 22 cents, a little higher. We could call that supply zone above 23. I think it gets pretty spicy up there, and we can see new highs. I do think we see new highs on Beam this year. Um, happy to be wrong. No guarantees, not financial advice, but I do think Beam goes higher this year. Um, what else? Link. I shared last night that I was buying Link right around the range low. I think it had bounced a little bit, somewhere around 1330. Um, so we're up, 6% or so on that. A nice bounce. Looking at it here to see what it's going to do. We are below the 200 EMA here. So it's possible this acts as resistance. I might shave some off. I just want to monitor the price action right now and see what I think it's going to do. But plan A is this runs to range highs. See there, take some profit. Maybe it can break out and put in some fresh highs. That's going to depend on the rest of the market. I don't think Chainlink's not really the type of coin that is going to break away from the rest of the market. It might outperform, but if everything's going down, it's not the type of thing that's going to have its own little isolated run. So we got to monitor the whole market and plan accordingly with that one. Yeah, I think that's probably going to do it for the stream. Yeah, I don't think we have anything else to cover really. Hopefully, next time I talk to you, we'll have an ETF and we'll have higher prices than we do today. Thanks for watching. I'll stop this here. Bye.